y'all hear what Trump just said? Did y'all hear what Trump just said? I'm about to let y'all listen to what Trump just said. Listen. Make sure there are no children around. Make sure that you don't have your phone up at work. Make sure. Okay? Go in your car. Do something. Okay?
Ripped off Somalians. Ripped off that state for billions of dollars. Billions. Every year. Billions of dollars. And they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you. Okay? Somebody said, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks and do nothing but bitch. We don't want them in our country. Let them go back to where they came from and fix it. Thank you very much.
Man. God. Okay. So, all right. So, woo! Yeah, because he went in on Somalis. He went in on Somalis. He went all the way in on Somalis.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Common Sense Philosophy channel. Today, the title on this video is Somalian Fraud or Just Racism. Somalian Fraud or Just Racism. After seeing all this stuff on the news, it gets real interesting real quick. Hearing what Trump is saying. You know, President Trump, he has his perspective, and it do sound crazy. But then, you know, you also watch the news and you hear about all the different fraud things going on, which I had no idea that so much fraud was going on. I had no idea they went to court. People went to court and for $7 million and saying they were feeding kids, and it's not even that many kids in that neighborhood. It's just a lot going on. And the more you look at it, you can see that some paperwork is not adding up. But on the other side, you still don't really appreciate some of the stuff that's being said. So you try to figure out from both sides what's right and what's wrong. And I believe that's where it gets a little emotional. From a logic side, you just look at the numbers like an accountant, what's legal and what's fraud. But from a personal place, you start to get emotional and wonder if anybody's being treated bad. So what I've learned about business is you take your time, go through all the information, do proper accounting, and at that point, you can kind of say if it's fraud or they're just being racist and saying mean things. You know, you start to learn about where people's country and if they're sending money back. Are they paying taxes? Are they helping the neighborhoods that they're in, the country that they're in? Or is all the finances being sent back? You heard one guy say they're on government assistance, but they're sending money back and they're buying all these cars and stuff. And I get people's point. But in the same breath, we're all trying to do better, right? So, hey, I hope you enjoyed the video. Come check me out on the next one. We're going to keep doing it, all right? See you later.
A $250 million fraud scheme. Already 77 people, many of them Somali immigrants, have been charged in one of the largest taxpayer-funded scams in U.S. history. Minnesota, home to the largest Somali community in America, has become the center of this massive investigation. This is the Feeding Our Future scandal, a pandemic-era scheme in which defendants allegedly stole over $250 million meant to provide meals for low-income children. Instead of feeding kids, prosecutors say the money went toward luxury homes, high-end cars, jewelry, overseas transfers, and an entire network of shell companies. According to the DOJ, the conspirators submitted fake invoices, fabricated meal counts, and even staged photos to make it look like they were serving millions of meals that never existed. In some cases, they claimed to feed more children than lived in entire neighborhoods. A federal jury found Amy Bach, the founder of Feeding Our Future, and Salim Ahmed Saeed guilty of conspiracy, bribery, wire fraud, money laundering. Federal officials say more arrests may still be coming.
Somalian scam in Minnesota, but this couple got away with $7.2 million. After going to court and being convicted, the judge overturned it. They had a home health care business for 2 years without a physical address, like without a building, but a P.O. box. They overcharged Medicaid, overbilled them, didn't have documentation for the services that they provided. All this was provided in the courtroom, and the judge said, nope, we're going to overturn the decision of the jury. So they got away with $7.2 million. Sarah West, the judge in Minnesota, Democratic judge in Minnesota. And then this is what the husband, I can't click out his first name right, but Youssef, last name. Yeah, crazy. So no accountability. You could go to Minnesota, scam millions of dollars, and you could get away with it. This is easier than robbing a bank. This is easier than robbing a bank, just falsifying a couple of documents, and there you go. You can have millions of dollars in Minnesota.
Minneapolis. And Somalians are just part of the culture here. As far back as I can remember, I've always seen Somalians. And in these past 5 years, the population increased so much. It went from seeing them to them feeling like the majority a lot of places that I go. And also over the past few years, I've noticed that I see a lot of them with new cars. So I'm a handyman, and I worked on a lot of Section 8 housing to make sure they're up to standard. And one thing I've noticed when I go see Section 8 houses, one, it's usually a Somali family. And what I mean, usually it's 9 times out of 10. And those houses usually have new cars in the front. I mean, cars with an S, multiple new cars. And what I mean usually is like 8 out of 10 Somali houses, I've seen that. And I always wondered how someone on Section 8 can afford multiple new cars. I just couldn't put it together. So now finding out about this fraud stuff makes so much sense. And you know who I feel bad for other than me for paying for that shit with my taxes? Is Somalians who came here on the up and up and who didn't break the law. Because as a black man, I know how it feels to be judged because someone else with your same skin color did some stupid shit that you wouldn't approve of. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat, but one thing I do know is I've been saying for years we need to kick Tim Walz out because he knew about this shit from the beginning.